Good morning and welcome back to the Livingston Parish News Morning Show. My name is McHugh David, publisher and editor of the news. Appreciate you guys joining us this morning. If you're watching us live on Facebook, thank you for that. And if you're checking us out elsewhere, we do upload these shows to www.livingstonparishnews.com/podcast. We have audio and video versions there for you to check out. Of course, Facebook keeps this video pervasively on our timeline, so if you ever want to just go back during the day and watch it there, you absolutely can. The version we upload to our website does have edited audio, so it sounds a little bit better than I do here, but your choice. Getting into your traffic this morning, I-12 is flowing with some minor delays on those on-ramps. Also looking at some minor delays at 4-H Club Road, River Road, and 190. 64 looking pretty clear heading into Central, with Greenville Springs looking clear as well. Still got that school traffic, of course, looking pretty heavy, especially around Live Oak High School up there on North 16. Looking at some minor delays in and around Denham and Walker High. Of course, having half the kids on campus is helpful for those traffic situations. Also looking at some delays on Hatchell Lane in Denham Springs. It's currently 74 degrees, 93 degrees your high today, 72 your overnight low. As we mentioned, we were supposed to get some rain coming through starting today. Looking at a cool front coming through. It's stalled out over eastern Texas, so is going to continue to be a little hot. Want to remind you to keep drinking water, please, and stay cool during the day. Remember to try to take breaks, get inside, wear light clothing, because you are looking at heat indexes anywhere from 95 to 98 during the day. We are going to start seeing a cooling trend. As mentioned, it's going to be 72 overnight, so it's going to be cooler overnight. Those daytime temperatures still going to be warm for a while. 20% chance of rain this afternoon. Of course, you know, it being just about late summer here in Louisiana, always a good idea to pack that umbrella. A report came out early in the week, I guess Tuesday, right after Labor Day, that discussed federal budgeting. Normally, the federal budget, the fiscal year ends in September. Last September, after a group called OpenTheBooks.com issued a couple of public records requests, found out that government agencies, federal agencies specifically, spent $91 billion in September of 2019. It's a culture of use it or lose it when it comes to governmental budgeting. The President Donald Trump said that he wants to end that culture if he is elected for a second term, because with a federal debt of $27 trillion that continues to grow, especially due to the coronavirus, as well as with annual budgets that are in and around $2.5 trillion to $3 trillion. It's even hard to say that trillion number. The deficit continues to grow in America, and of course, with the continued spending, especially right there at the end of the fiscal year, it's hard to believe that these agencies need all the money that is budgeted for them, according to the Office of Budget Management, which is through Congress, but it is bipartisan. A lot of money is wasted every year in September. And of course, the OpenTheBooks.com said that their findings, especially when verified through the Office of Budget Management, are sort of, I guess you can say, dedicated to that use it or lose it culture. Most of the things that were spent were not required for that fiscal year. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of what that report generates, especially in Congress, and what kind of budgets come out later, I guess, in later years, trying to see if we can't reduce some spending to take some bites out of that deficit and that debt, which continues to balloon, especially as mentioned due to the coronavirus. Livingston Parish Public Schools Transportation Department is collecting for the DeQuincy area. Of course, everybody in the school system is trying to adopt someone different. Don't want everybody piling on one place. DeQuincy being in North Calcasieu, so just north of Lake Charles. You can bring donations, which is everything from personal, toothpaste, personal hygiene kind of items, towels, paper towels, those sorts of things. Things that you think about after the flood that you just didn't have. Toilet paper, also a big one. So please remember, you can drop it off at the T building at the Livingston Parish Public Schools Transportation Department, which is right behind the central office. That's on Highway 190 in Livingston. Getting into your COVID-19 statistics real quick today. 153,433 cases statewide. That's an increase of 250 from Monday to Tuesday. 4,955 deaths, an increase of 13. 1,967,458 tests, an increase of 4,125 tests. 134,432 people have recovered. 799 hospitalized on 131 ventilators. In Livingston Parish, 3,495 cases, 69 deaths on 35,208 tests. I want to talk about these mitigation efforts real quick. Please remember to wear a mask in public. It is a mandate. Wash your hands for 20 seconds or more with soap and water. 6 feet or more of distance between yourself and others. Control your cough and sneezing with an elbow or a tissue, preferably your own elbow. Don't touch your face, my favorite one. 25 or less to a gathering, preferably less, and stay home if you're sick, and utilize telehealth to get in touch with your doctor. Try to stay home to work, if at all possible. The decision on phase 3 did not come yesterday, may come late this evening, most likely going to come tomorrow. Normally during the week, we have heard those decisions on Tuesday. However, because of Labor Day and Hurricane Laura, timelines are kind of messed up. According to Governor John Bel Edwards, he still has to discuss with his local task force through the Louisiana Department of Health what they're facing going forward. Then he needs to get on the line with the White House task force, there it is, to discuss things specifically with Dr. Birx and Vice President Mike Pence. So those two discussions, which are going to be happening today and possibly tomorrow, are going to determine a lot of where we go as a state. Right now, the numbers are looking good. As we mentioned, only 250 was the increase in cases day over day. Hospitalizations, a small rise there, and ventilators, a small rise as well, but not too bad. So, of course, we're looking at 14-day trends here. So it's going to be interesting to see where we go. Probably an announcement coming Thursday. Of course, that's going to change a lot of things. A lot of speculation out there. We're not going to dive into that about what phase 2 is going to look like, or excuse me, what phase 3 is going to look like. Might look a little bit like phase 2 with just some changes, but we're going to find out later this week. Of course, it'll change a lot for schools because phase 3 opens the door for 5-day instruction for all grades, which I think is going to change a lot of things and a lot of problems that teachers are having inside the school system. The trial has begun for the Louisiana plan for the November 3rd election and how to treat it with COVID-19. It's going to be interesting to see how that comes out of federal court. So it's now been moved to a federal court location. And the judge who is presiding over it has said early on that she agrees that forcing people to visit their doctor first, especially with so many things going on with COVID-19, to get a doctor's, I guess you can say, excuse to be able to do some sort of absentee or distance voting might hinder their right to vote. So it's going to be interesting to see what the judge eventually rules and if we're going to have any kind of what we had over the summer, which was extended early voting periods as well as extra, I guess you can say, requirements for absentee voting. So that meant that, it was a wider range of people that could absentee vote. Of course, the governor and the legislature and the Secretary of State have all kind of been bashing heads over this. The Secretary of State said that his proposal that he brought to the legislature was one he thought they would pass. They did. It was a reduced version of what happened over the summer. The governor said, no, we're not going to do that. I'm not going to pass that. So, of course, now it's in court to see what's going to happen this fall. So it may be up to the courts, which is what was determined in the House Committee when they were of Government Affairs, when they were looking at this. Representative Barry Ivy from the central area said it's probably going to, if we push this along and push it to the governor, who's already said he's not going to do it, it's probably going to end up in court. Lo and behold, it did. So we're going to see what happens inside the court process and what you'll be looking at in terms of COVID-19 and voting in that early voting period in late October, as well as the November 3rd election. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. Getting back into your traffic real quick, I-12 is flowing with some minor on-ramp delays, minor delays at 4-H Club Road, River Road, and 190. 64 looking pretty clear with some minor delays on Greenville Springs. You're looking at that school traffic. Remember, we do have half the kids going to school. Still having some traffic, though, some minor delays on 16 in front of Dim Springs High School. Heavy delays on 16 in front of Live Oak. And some minor delays on both sides of Walker High on 190 as well as Burgess. Looking at some minor delays, pretty heavy actually, on Hatchell Lane in Denham Springs. It's currently 74 degrees, 93 degrees your high today, 72 your overnight low. It's going to be mostly sunny today. I can see the sun peeking out over the trees out there. But please remember, it is going to get hot this afternoon again. Please remember to drink that water and wear light clothing. Still not quite out of the woods yet. Again, that front stalled out over East Texas, so it's going to stay warm for a while. However, starting to get cooler and cooler overnight again. Your overnight low, 72. Want to remind folks of these mitigation efforts. Try to hold on to them because we do want to move to phase 3. Wear a mask in public. It is a mandate. Wash your hands for 20 seconds or more with soap and water. 6 feet or more of distance between yourself and others in public. Control your cough and sneezing with an elbow or a tissue, preferably your own elbow. Don't touch your face, my favorite one. 25 or less to a gathering, preferably less, and stay home if you're sick, and utilize telehealth to get in touch with your doctor. One last time, my name is McHugh David, publisher and editor of the news. Appreciate you guys joining us this morning for the Livingston Parish News Morning Show. Want to remind you guys that we are on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. We are once a week in print on Thursdays at $7 a month to get that in your mailbox. We are also online, www.livingstonparishnews.com. We have a podcast page, which is free, a breaking news page, which is free, and we also have a coronavirus page, which is free, which is where you can check out all the coronavirus information. The breaking news page is for state news, national news, as well as arrests and accidents. We do hope you have a great hump day. We will be in touch with you through our website if we do get an update from the governor today, although we are expecting it tomorrow. But please have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow morning.